So anyway, I just got done talking about the Moses Malone and the Moses theme in regards to the Super Bowl this year. But the reason I mention it is because in 2015 we also had a lot of first blacks die. In Black History Month we had the first black NBA player who died. I also said a lot of 76ers died. Go figure, this guy played for the Syracuse Nationals, who actually turned into the Philadelphia 76ers. I mean, lots of it, but the first black PGA Tour player died. And then on March 1st, actually, 3-1, it wasn't Black History Month, Minnie Minoso died. He was the first black White Sox player. We even had Anthony Mason, who died on February 28th, the 59th day of the year. The number coded all around black people. This number, very interesting around black people as well, I noticed. But Anthony Mason died 228. He was known for being NBA Sixth Man of the Year. That adds up to 228. Lamar Odom also in the news this year. The reporting of Lamar Odom was 228 days after 228. Huey P. Newton, the founder of the Black Panthers, even died on 8/22. In other countries, they write the date as 22/8 instead of 8/22, so interesting. The voice of the Black Panther in the Jungle Book, he also died on 8/22. 8/22, also a day with 131 days left. The word Super Bowl equals 131. Martin Luther King Jr. equals 228. The big way in gematria. I mean, just think about it. Obama is the first black president. All these first blacks die. Obama's the first black president. If you write out first black president in gematria, it equals 85. The number, I mean, I talked about the Chicago Bears and whatnot, the 85 Bears. Also, I guess in regards to Moses, according to rabbinical, or however you say that, Jews, Moses also died at the age of 120 in the year 1271. Once again, I've mentioned the 12 and 21 connections, and also Super Bowl 50 equals 71. Anyway, let's talk about the Super Bowl a little bit here. So, I seriously knew the Broncos were going to win it after the first play of the game, or not the kickoff, but the first actual play of Denver's first drive or whatever. Manning's number 18. He threw his first pass to number 81, Owen Daniels, for 18 yards. And it went to the Denver 38-yard line. All numbers that I've mentioned well before the Super Bowl even happened. The Super Bowl, even on a date with 18 numerology, it's the 38th day of the year. Colorado equals 38. It's the 38th state. Manning's number 18 in his 18th season. Threw his first pass to number 81 for 18 yards. I mean, come on. That even happened in the Patriots game as well. It wasn't quite as obvious, but it was number 18 to number 81. I'll explain that again here in a minute, but if you write out the word 18, it equals 73 and 46. You know, of course, the 46 connected to the Chicago Bears. The 21st prime is 73. And all before the Super Bowl, I mentioned how the number 21 seemed to be a good number and 12 seemed to be a bad number. And then, you know, then we get this, all these 18s coded in here. 73 is the 21st prime. So I even talked about, you know, previously I talked about Chicago equaling 46. In the 85 season, they won the Super Bowl using their revolutionary 4-6 defense. They beat the Patriots 46-10. Peyton Manning's birthday, though, is 46 days after Super Bowl 50 this year. He was going into the game with 199 wins. 199 is the 46 prime number. Even did you notice Cam Newton had 46 yards at halftime? He was also 18 of 41 passing for the game. I mean, just interesting. 41 is Super Bowl. 18, like I said. After the Broncos scored on a 64-yard drive, the announcer said Manning was 4 of 6 on the drive. And in the Patriots-Broncos game, the Broncos' first drive was 11 plays for 83 yards. It was a 21-yard touchdown pass from number 18 to 81 to finish the drive. And then Owen Daniels also scored again on a 12-yard pass later in the game. So a 21-yard pass he scored on, and he also scored on a 12-yard pass. The first touchdown of Super Bowl 50 was the Broncos' defense. It was scored by Malik Jackson. Just think about it. Malik, just like Malik El Shabazz, that's what Malcolm X changed his name to. Malik El Shabazz. Malik equals 46. Malik Jackson equals 38, just like Colorado, just like the day the Super Bowl was played on. Also, we talked a lot about the Back to the Future coding and whatnot. And in Back to the Future, the 1985 movie has this Denver Broncos clock in the very opening scene. I mean, why does it have a Denver Broncos clock? It's not in Denver, nothing to do with Colorado. The Broncos, they didn't even make the Super Bowl the year in 84. They didn't even make the playoffs in 85. It really doesn't make much sense that this clock's in that movie unless they're coded to the 85 Bears. But interesting, the clocks in the very opening scene, it has a digital clock that shows 7:53, but later on, you find out the clocks are set 25 minutes back. So it's really 8:18 in this movie. When the movie begins, it's 8:18, the 81 and 18. Also, I mentioned this black clock right up here, and now it's pointing to the power switch, and I said maybe it's something to do with blackout and whatnot. It could be something to do with the Black Panthers versus the Denver, the White Bronco and whatnot. But in this movie, this little thing comes up and it actually flips the switch up. So, didn't really think about that before, but, the Panthers didn't play lights out. They played lights on. They looked terrible. But it really makes me wonder, if it's like they're hinting at they're turning on a new agenda or something that they're trying to go with. But I also mentioned about how this clock only has 10 numbers on it. Interesting, the Panthers only scored 10 points in the game. Just found that kind of interesting. The clocks are even set 50 minutes apart. This one's at 8:43. This one's at 7:53. 50 minutes, kind of like Super Bowl 50. The last time that the Broncos and Panthers played before Super Bowl 50 was on November 11th of 2012. The score even totaled up to 50. And 11/11 is the day with 50 days left until the end of the year. I was also thinking about the prime numbers again. The 18th prime is 61, and the 81st prime is 419. Just interesting, if you do them as a date, it could be 4/19/61, similar to the day of the first death of the Civil War. Even this year, we had Freddie Gray, who was arrested on the day that the Civil War began. 4/12, and then he also died on 4/19, the day of the first death in the Civil War. 4/19/1961, the year Obama was born, is 107 days before Obama's birthday. Just interesting. 107 adds up to 131, just like Super Bowl. Earthquake also equals 107. Anyway, like I keep saying, I've mentioned the 12 and 21 coding and tons of stuff. Super Bowl 50, of course, had the 12 and 21 theme. I did get it wrong because I thought the Panthers would win because of it. I thought the Panthers were connected to the number 21 and not the 12. And who knows? It turned out completely opposite. The Broncos lost in Super Bowl 12, and they also lost in Super Bowl 21. Now, since the Panthers lost Super Bowl 50, they lost the Super Bowl in their 12th season, and this year was also their 21st season. So they lost in their 12th season and 21st season in the Super Bowl. Then we got this, too. They put up this little stat. It's really hilarious when you look at these stats here, but it was exactly 14-14 left in the fourth quarter when this stat came up. And there was even 14 seconds left on the play clock. And remember, the Broncos won by 14 points as well. So, super interesting. But look, Peyton Manning, 12 of 21. He has 139 pass yards. What is the point of even putting that stat up? 139, Freemasonry equals 139. The ball was also on the 42. Remember, if you add up the word 21, it adds up to 42 and 141. And then 2 plays later, Manning fumbled and the Panthers recovered. I mean, just ridiculous. Also, remember how number 21 kept getting all the penalties in the first half there for the Broncos? Even this ridiculous face mask that stopped the touchdown. I mean, it didn't matter. They ended up getting a touchdown anyway out of it, but it was by number 21, however you say his name, Aqib Talib. I mean, would you believe it? His name in gematria adds up to 37 and 73, just like Carolina equals 37 and 73. Remember, the 12th prime is 37, the 21st prime, 73. And he wears number 21. The Panthers even scored 10 points. 10 equals 12. 10 also equals 39 the big way, which I'll mention here in a little bit. But you even notice the Panthers started looking better in the game when the score was 10-0. The Broncos had 10 points, and then they started looking a little bit worse. But once the Broncos scored again, and then when the Panthers had 10 points, I knew no way they were coming back. They were going to be stuck on that 10. Also, the game-defining play pretty much was when Cam Newton fumbled the ball and then obviously could have jumped on it, but he completely backs up. Even if you go back and watch this a little bit slower, it looks like Cam Newton even actually throws the ball this way. He gets it, and then he kind of like throws it with his hand to get it down here. And I really believe that's what happened, and I'll show you why here in a second. But, I mean, how can you watch this and not think that the Super Bowl was rigged? The ball was recovered by TJ Ward, number 43. Of course, Civil War equals 43. This guy even born on 12/12. His name in gematria equals 22. If you write out 22, it equals 39. This play was on 3rd and 9. All planned out. Peyton Manning is 39 years old. Denver is on 39 degrees north. Charlotte equals 39 in gematria. New York equals 39 in gematria. Interesting, Kansas City is also on 39 degrees north, just like Denver. And New York equals 39 and Charlotte equals 39. Both of these teams lost this year. Both of these teams won. Just what I'm talking about. Sometimes when stuff adds up to something, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win. It's how you're connected to it a different way. Just haven't completely figured all this coding out, but it is here. It's ridiculous. The Mets, even their only game that they won in the World Series, they beat the Royals 3-9 or 9-3, the 39. Martin Luther King Jr. equals 93 in gematria. He died age 39. Malcolm X equals 93 in gematria. He died age 39. There's 39 books in the Old Testament. Just, think about the Moses theme. The Panthers had 10 points. 10 equals 39. The Broncos had 24. 24 equals 167 and 50 the small way. Interesting, 167 is the 39th prime. Peyton Manning equals 167. Beyonce Giselle Knowles equals 93. She wore the Michael Jackson outfit that Michael Jackson wore in Super Bowl 27 in 1993. Rosa Parks' full name, if you write it out in gematria, equals 93. I mean, the odds. The Broncos' leading rusher was number 10, Emmanuel Sanders, who equals 56. I talked about that in the first part of this video series. He even had 83 yards in the game. Football equals 83. Colorado equals 83. His birthday is 39 days after Super Bowl 50. C.J. Anderson, the Broncos' lead rusher, averaged 3.9 a carry. Graham Gano missed the 44-yard field goal, but he made his 39-yard field goal. I even mentioned that there would be something significant about a field goal. I mean, that seems pretty vague, but it really happened, Field goal equals 71, just like Super Bowl 50. Like I said, if you write out the word 71, it equals 144. 44 equals 144. April 4th, kind of like 44, equals 144. Kill equals 44. Obama's the 44th president. Tons of stuff with this. The first president to die in office died on April 4th, 4-4. Martin Luther King Jr. died on April 4th, 44. I'm going to stop right here and make another part because there's too much to talk about coming up to put the point across. So, see ya in the next part.